Just go somewhere else. I can't take this nonsense anymore. How are you going to blame the defense?
I got the power. Screw Green Bean. Damn it.
But once you get to the sausage, I feel like we're doing something.
Go Jets.
What would you give up to see a Jets Super Bowl?
All of my friends and family.
Hit those milk thumbs, boys and girls.
Freeze run.
Hold on to your underwear, ladies, and stand by, bitches. It's now time for Talkin Jets with your hosts, Matt, Ryan, and Green Bean.
Welcome to Talkin Jets. My name's Ryan, and I'll be your pilot tonight. I am joined alongside my co-pilots. I have Mr. Green Bean to my this way. I got Mr. Matt O'Leary to my that way. Green Bean, how you doing tonight?
Dude, I feel like we're at the precipice of the world's most exciting late season playoff rush. I'm psyched. I'm believing. I've chosen to buy in. To hell with the naysayers. I'm in.
Matt, how you doing tonight?
We are all the way back, baby. I am ready to get again. Let's do it.
I just want the pain and the suffering to go away. Boys and girls, you can help that pain and suffering if you hit that like button. If you guys are joining us and you want to get entered into our t-shirt jersey giveaway at the end of this stream, all you got to do is timestamp some moments down below in the comment section. Get yourself entered into next week's t-shirt giveaway because we're going to be picking some people from last week's stream that left timestamps, plus any super chatters this week to get into the contest. We're excited to get into it. We got to talk about Zach Wilson. We got to talk about Belichick getting his ass out of New England and a whole bunch of other stuff. Whole lot of things that we can get into. I didn't build any graphics, so I'm just going to ask Green Bean, what'd you think of Zach's performance against the Texans?
I think it's clear, right? I think it's been Zach's been held back for a long time. And it's nice to see the handcuffs get taken off of probably the best quarterback we've seen in Jets Green in 2 decades. So I'm excited by his most recent greatest game of his career. A few of these. But boy, oh boy, did he make it fun, man. And you know what I really liked is that you mentioned this. I watched your video on Zach, Ron. It was today I watched. It was very, very good. It was very entertaining. But you said you regurgitated what he said, which I'm gonna now repeat, which is like when Zach spoke to, like the best, probably in my opinion, in this moment. He said DJ Reed told us.
Boot you real quick because I can't understand a damn word you're saying right now. Boom.
I'm grainy too. What the heck, man?
Green Bean gets the chicken. Matt's all grainy. What the hell's going on with my setup now? Now I'm upset. All right, Matt, I'll ask you. What did you think of Zach's performance?
I thought it was the best of his career. I thought that was Zach Wilson's performance from start to finish. Earlier in this season, we all said it was the Kansas City game. He went for 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. This time around, he went over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Still got to get him 3 touchdowns in a game. That hasn't happened yet. That I'd like to see from him, but I thought he was really good, especially in that second half. I'm happy for him.
Boys and girls, I apologize for whatever my internet is doing right now because it is super buggy. So we're going to work through it. So it might be a little bit more of an audio podcast for this particular type of stream. Yeah, I'll boot you too. Let's do that.
Okay.
Boom, you got the chicken. Ha-ha! I'm by myself now. Hopefully people come in. I wonder if my internet might be like hating me right now. Let's see. We got Matt back. There you go. You look beautiful.
How do I look?
You look perfect. I don't know what happened to Green Bean.
Green Bean took it personally, I think, and just said,
yeah, I ejected him, and he was like, none of that. No way. But yeah, you were saying best performance of Zach Wilson's career. I completely agree. It felt like he finally just played without any type of shackles on him. Like, do you buy into the little conspiracy theory of Aaron Rodgers calling plays the second half of the game?
No, I don't. I'm not buying into that. I like that they took some more shots, and I like that they were throwing once he got in a rhythm, but I don't buy Nathaniel Hackett stopped calling plays and Aaron Rodgers started calling plays in the second half.
Yeah, no, I think that was definitely a Nathaniel Hackett thing, and just maybe it was just Zach just saying, "Screw it, I'm just gonna let it rip all over the field." What's the worst thing that can happen? What are they gonna do? Bench me? Right? Stupid. I wish this happened.
That was a great line.
That was a great line. Absolutely awesome. He said it to DJ Reed, I believe, right?
Yeah, he said it to DJ Reed, and he's like, that's what he should have been thinking all along. That should have been his mindset from day one. I wish he was, thinking that way and willing to take some more chances other than, just going to I don't want to turn it over. I'm going to play as conservative and boring as possible.
Yeah. Do you think that Saleh and LaFleur and Hackett have basically been playing that defensive-minded head coach kind of game of just don't lose us the game, be very careful, cautious, no turnovers, don't try to play this gunslinger mentality? You think that was part of the problem?
I definitely think so. For me, with Robert Saleh and defensive coaches in general, more often than not, they don't want necessarily their quarterback to have to go out and take all these chances. They believe that if he just does the little things right and manages the game, that they'll be able to win. Like, for instance, the perfect example of that is the game against the Raiders, where Robert Saleh said, first team to 20 wins, 20 will win, whatever the exact quote was. I think that's absolutely a Robert Saleh philosophy. And I also think we all knew with Zach Wilson, it's a confidence thing and it's a mental thing. No one ever questioned Zach Wilson's talent. But I just don't think he has that trust in himself at times. But when he does, he looks like it's just a consistency thing now.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get a little duplication from last week to this week. There's no team I want to beat more than the Miami Dolphins. They are on such a high horse, and just watching them lose last night was just, I was so chubbed up. I had to get an extra box of tissues. It was that good. I just could not stop myself. I'm so happy they lost in the fashion they did. Oh, we got Bean coming back now. All right.
Okay.
What's up, Green Bean? Sorry about that. It's probably on my side because Matt's getting a little grainy too. But we'll work through it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I want to get your take again on Zach Wilson because you kind of cut in and out a little bit last time.
I know. I went back and listened. I was like, ugh. Okay. Can you hear me now? Am I good?
Got you loud and clear.
All right. You guys already said it. So I was talking about the thing he said to the team, which is what's the worst that's going to happen? I get benched again. That's the way that he should have been playing the whole time. Remember in the beginning in training camp, him and Breece, they were saying, football is fun. Football is, remember? Don't overthink it. Football is fun. And it's he forgot. Football is fucking definitely not fun for Zach Wilson for about a month there. And it wasn't fun for us either, Mr. Wilson. Just know that. But it's nice to just see him loosen up. There was numerous plays, but I think the number one play that kind of epitomizes that is the play where he kind of called over. He moved Bawden, and Becton kind of got beat real quick, and he rolled out, and he just decided, crossed his shoulder, pew, right in the pocket. It was just beautiful, dude. It's that's what this kid has in him. It's why he was drafted. It's why it's so frustrating. We're not watching it's Tim Boyle is the guy sucks, right? There's nothing there. It's this is garbage. Zach Wilson's frustrating because he's got the legs, he's got the agility, the arm, everything's there. He's just a big old pansy ass. So it's nice to see him just kind of get comfortable and say, fine, screw it. And if any week to continue, if he's going to have a 2-game stretch, sure as hell hope it's against the Dolphins.
Fingers crossed, right? Let's jump into a few super chats. I see 𝐒𝐞𝐞𝐫𝐢𝐻𝐫𝐢𝐻𝐿 come in and says, over under 18 times Matt says Matt, can you beat that for us?
What the fuck did I ever do to 𝐒𝐞𝐞𝐫𝐢𝐻𝐫𝐢𝐻?
I have no idea.
𝐒𝐞𝐞𝐫𝐢𝐻.
You should say I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know.
I didn't realize you said I say all the time.
I think it's a bad habit. Now I'm going to think about that for the rest of the show.
Yeah, totally.
Way to go. Making a self-conscious 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞𝐚. John comes in and says, Ryan, I've been waiting all day to ask if you saw TD's mental breakdown last night. His wife, I thought, was on a news to give him a paper bag. Dude, I was dying. I was laughing so hard. TD's mental breakdown, if you guys didn't see it, as soon as that fourth down play happened, he's like, just before it happened, he's just like, oh, we're going to win. We got this. Yeah, pure confidence. And then you hear his wife off to the side, and like, she's like, do you need something? Do you need like a glass of water? Do you need a garbage? And I'm like, oh, please throw up into the Josh Allen trash can right now. There's one part where he's like peeking over his chair, and he's just like, no. And like screaming. It was one of my favorite reactions. I went over to him, and then I went over to Dougley Do-Wrong. I threw Dougley $10, and I said, yo, get yourself a drink. Oh, geez. Green Bean, what'd you think of the Dolphins' loss last night to the Titans?
Well, I fell asleep, wake up very early, but I woke up, and it's funny because I looked at it, and I saw 28-27, I think it was, and I was like, God damn it. And it wasn't like, it was maybe 10 minutes later that I just came across. I'm like, wait, I saw that backwards. So I was delighted, man. I look really bad too. I look bad on YouTube, huh? Am I not coming through tonight?
Yeah, I think it's on my side. So I've been having internet issues all day today, and I reset my router, but I don't know what's going on. Optimum, you suck balls.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
I hate Optimum.
Yeah,
I want fiber optic in the worst way.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get it.
It's
I'm
weird.
like
I have like a little preview thing on the side for your cameras, and both you guys look fine on that. But when it goes up on like the stream, something's acting a little funky. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Matt, what'd you think of the Dolphins' loss last night?
Blowing a 14-point lead in the final 5 minutes of a game that's such a shame. It really couldn't have happened to a better team. That's really unfortunate. Now, the Jets have a sneaky chance to do something really funny on Sunday if they somehow pull this upset win. Now, I don't want to get ahead of my skis. I'm not come on here on this show or on any of my previews this week and be like, the Jets, they're laying the hammer. They're going to win 35. No. But Tyreek Hill's banged up. They lost their center for the season. The interior defensive line of the Jets is going to get pressure on the Dolphins. The Jets defense hung tough with the Dolphins in the first half, the first time these two teams played. I don't know if I have the guts to pick an outright Jets win, but I think it's going to be a tight game, and I think they'll have a shot, especially if the offense looks even 70% of what it was this past week. If they get to 23, that might be enough.
Oh, man, I have all the balls in the world to say the Jets are going to win this. We're going to drag our nuts all over the Fins. I'm so sick of this.
I know.
And you know what? When it happens,
I'd like to apologize then to absolutely nobody.
Aaron Rodgers. I love you. 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞𝐚 comes in and says, need a bean drug story. The wheel is rigged.
Yeah, that's everything. It's the whole show right there.
Blitzker comes in and says, fun watching the Jets this weekend, but honestly need to see several more games like this before I put stock in Zach again. Becton looked rough. Becton did not look good. And I'm kind of hoping it's just like the high ankle sprain that's really causing him problems right now, because he was really bad. But Zach doing what he did, it felt like he was close to doing that a few times this year. And it was like, wide receivers dropping passes. It was offensive linemen causing false starts. It was weird, wonky play calling. Zach's not totally not to blame, but it feels like this was the culmination of wide receivers catching passes, no stupid errors, picking up first downs, actually moving the ball down the field. I mean, we did our halftime show over on Green Bean's channel, and we were like, it's going to end 0-0. It's going to be a fucking tie. We're going to hurt our draft stock, and we're not going to get a win. That's what's going to end up happening. And lo and behold, Zach comes out and friggin' lights up the world.
Crazy.
Lights up the world. But
Dude, 30 points in the second. 30 points in fucking 30 minutes. That's a point every minute. Like, who could have seen that coming? Nobody. Nobody in the world.
Hennessy comes in. Hennessy says, I want to smack the Dolphins, but Can lightning strike twice? And Zach have back-to-back good games. Haven't been done in 33 starts, but I'll pray. Matt, you think Zachy Poo is going to be able to duplicate his performance?
I don't know. That the last part is so key. He hasn't been able to stack these. He's had good games. Like, even I think the biggest and critics will say that he's had good games, but his inability to give you a few good games in a row is the problem. Like, for instance, Sam Darnold's rookie season, remember he got hurt and then came back and had like a stellar last 4 games, however much it was. If he ended the season with a sample size like that, 4 or 5 games in a row, where you're like, wow, that was really impressive. That was good. Different story. But if it's like 2 weeks of nothing, then maybe one more good one, and then final week of the year is just, again, a stinker, then he didn't really answer the consistency problem for me.
Grimmy, what about you? You think that Zach can actually duplicate his performance from this past week?
That's the big question, man. I'm hope. You know, and it's funny too. How many times have you guys been told you're not allowed to root for Zach this week, huh? You've been told that one?
I have not been told that one. I've been.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where I feel like I've known Zach's the best quarterback that we have, but I don't know. It's just I haven't gotten too much hate for it. I've gotten a few people that were like, "Well, see, this is what it takes. You know, Zach Wilson gets benched. You called for it." It's like, well, called for a change, and you weren't changing Hackett.
Yeah,
you weren't adding an offensive wide receiver. You weren't adding an offensive lineman. The only thing you could change was a quarterback. And I think, honestly, it probably, I mean, obviously it hurt our team because we didn't have a shot in the Falcons game. We didn't have a shot in the, the Dolphins game because of the quarterback play. But I think because of the way the Bills game ended, Salah, and because that was the game where Mosley was saying the offense can't do anything or we got to figure it out. I think he was almost trying to show what the alternatives were. Not the best way, I guess, to go about doing it, but I don't know. It sucks. I wish we could have seen Zach perform like this. And if benching him for 2 weeks is what triggers this, I don't know. I guess it's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's like, I mean, look, people are like, Zach stayed in, we'd be 7-6. It's like, what umbrella were you hiding from the world? Like, even if it was just 1 week, but he needed. There was no question. He was getting worse the week. And that's what happened last year. We saw performance. I think it definitely, kind of down and now we're looking at let it rip. I think it was a good thing.
Let's go over to Brian Bogan. Brian Bogan says, when can we get out of Lazard's contract? He absolutely tried to hold on the Gibson touchdown, but the DB slipped out of his hands. Dude costs us points. So he's going to be locked in for next year too. He's got $20 million guaranteed of that $44 million deal. So he's here like it or not for next year. Jets for Life comes in, says, Green last week's, we drag him back in the huddle. You're effing playing and jam the ball in his face and trade back rant was one of the best ever. Thank you, Green Bean.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that there, Jets for Life.
It was when we were talking about what if Zach doesn't want to go back in? You're gonna go. I'm gonna drag your ass back in there.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, good. Right. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it, Jets for Life. Thank you, man. That's good.
So good. Oh, whoa, Justin Crazy. Thank you so much for the 50 spot. Wow. Give you a little JETS.
Yeah.
He says, did you see Matt Miller's mock draft where the Jets took Joe Alt over Rome and Keon Coleman? Personally, I think Keon is a stud. Thoughts? If the Jets get Joe Alt, I'm not going to have any complaints about that whatsoever. I think he's probably the best lineman in the draft. As far as Keon Coleman, I really like Keon Coleman. He's one of my favorite receivers. Like outside of Marvin Harrison Jr., I would say Keon Coleman's my number 2 right now. Matt, I did not see this mock draft. I don't know if you did, but what are your thoughts on Alt over Rome and Keon Coleman?
I would that's how I would do it. personally, my preference is Marvin Harrison Jr. and then Joe Alt. Just because I think the Jets probably should lean or put more of an emphasis on the offensive line, but Marvin Harrison is too good a prospect for me to pass up. That's why I put him first over Joe Alt. But Joe Alt would be a dream. I don't know if he makes it to the Jets are picking 8th now, but I don't that pick at all. And I saw a Jets fan reply and saying, just re-sign Becton, and what's his face? Matt Miller was like, well, you could, but also he's kind of struggled this year, which if you look at the numbers for Becton, not great, man. Really not that good, below average. And I was rooting for 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞, and I still am. I hope maybe it has something to do with the injury, but he let up 3 sacks. He's
terrible.
He could have given up more than that too. I mean, Zach spun out at 2 of them.
On the year, I believe it's 9 sacks and 10 penalties, or 10 sacks and 9 penalties. It's a tough go from 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞 a little bit this year.
Yeah, Austin Jackson, the tackle for the Dolphins, right tackle, because Tua is a lefty, so he's protecting the blind side on that side, signed a 3-year, $36 million deal. If you had asked me if I would sign 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞 to that, before the season, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'm down with that particular type of contract. I think 1 year, like $10 million is probably what I'd look to bring Becton back if you wanted to bring him back. But I really think Douglas and Rodgers are probably going to take a hard look at Bakhtiari. Been saying it for a while, but like if you're gonna sign Becton, why not do Bakhtiari instead of Becton? Like I think that's how it might be viewed. Greenby, what do you think about Joe Alt over Roman Keon Coleman?
Well, the truth is that I'm just in the infant stages of kind of digging in. I have begun, but I'm like at the beginning, so I don't want to talk from a position of like really feeling like I'll tell you that the organizations that I use for some of my interesting avenues that I explore. One has Joe Alt as the 6th overall player and Keon Coleman as 19. One has Joe Alt as the 3rd overall player, and the other one has Keon Coleman at 36. So, and clear, like where I stand right now, I would be delighted with Joel. I feel right now like Coleman is a reach. Like if we're in the top 5 or 6 somewhere and we, Joel's on the board, I think you grab him. You know what I mean? Like without, by and large, and, Dom C, our trusted compadre, we were doing a little bit of a breakdown in our Beggar Wednesday, and he called Joe Alt barring injury and all that shit, of course. But he said like he's as sure thing of a prospect as we've seen in a few years, and like you take him and you just don't look back. You know what I mean? So I think I'd be very happy with it. I know we're all in love with our players. If Marvin Harrison was on the board and Joe Alt, there's a conversation, but I don't think Keon Coleman looks to me like he's in the same rating, like the same sphere as a Joe Alt.
He's going to be exciting to watch. I think of all the receivers that I've looked at so far, and it's not crazy far. It's probably the top 5 or so. I really like him a lot. Dude's a freak. But thank you so much, Justin. I would not be upset with any one of those players if we wound up getting them. Sawyer comes in. Sawyer says, loved the use of play action in the tight ends by 𝐿𝐵𝐞𝐞 and Zach. I love the movement. I love the rollouts. I think obviously the usage by, of Conklin and Ruckert, I felt like was massive today, or this past Sunday. Greenby, what are your thoughts on the tight end usage?
Oh, I loved it. And I thought it was, number one, I think our tight ends are underrated. Not 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞, but I think Ruckert and Conklin are slightly underrated. I think Ruckert's going to prove to be a much better receiver than he's given credit for. We saw a really impressive catch, just kind of, tight routes, good hands, but like we saw a very, very concentration-based catch that was just, just so exciting to see him come up with that one. But I think, seeing Zach have the confidence, like there were 2 plays like down the seam, one to Conklin, one to Ruckert, where he threw it a little bit high and let the tight end get it. and I've been screaming for it, for years, quite frankly, but at least all year. And it was so good to see it happening. We are lean in the wide receiver core. We should be compensating really strong, maybe not exceptional, right? Not elite, but very, very strong and tight end play. And I think that kind of switching that mindset, we have Garrett Wilson, you can utilize some the Gibsons and stuff, but it's like Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall type. That's what we should be doing. And if we single game, I think we're going to have positive results. It's what we've been kind of seeing the potential, but this was like the first game that kind of exploded a little bit. I couldn't have been happier.
Donald June comes in. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, take care and value the football, but never be afraid to make a mistake. Andy Reid, Saleh coaches too conservatively until there's nothing to lose. Matt, would you agree with this statement from Donald June?
I would 100%. I think that's one of my biggest criticisms of Robert Saleh. I think he has that all gas, no break mantra when it comes to the defense. And then on the offense, it's the complete opposite. You're allowed to be aggressive, dude. It's 2023 in the NFL. We can't play on offense anymore like it's, the late 90s, early 2000s. It's different now. The rules are different. It's more just for offenses. And Andy Reid is by the I think best modern offensive coach in the very wise decision there, or quote.
I want to jump over J-Boy, Brian, and Mike real quick. We'll hop over to Lucky Leo. Lucky Leo says, Zach needs to throw the ball all over the yard. I think more throwing to keep Miami honest, establish the pass first, and hopefully that would do the trick to free up Hall. I love our chances. I would say that's exactly what I would do as well. We had 10 passes in a row, I think is what Rodgers was talking about, and how you just open it up coming out at halftime. I want to see that against Miami. I want to put them on their heels. I want to make Tua make bad mistakes, and I want to send our pass rushers after him when they have a weak offensive line in front of them. Green Bean, how do you feel about our chances this week against Miami, and do you think that throwing the ball should be the way we go first?
Yep. I think it's time to stop overthinking it. It's time to stop playing to, not lose. It's time to not lose our opportunity for the field goal in the red zone. And if it's not there, don't take it. Like, I think Zach should be tossing that shit over the place. And like he said, get if they take one from you, they take one from you. Defense stops them, we come back again, and we that's the way it should be, man. We tried this whole balanced attack bullshit, and we saw it in the first in the first quarter. The 0-0. It was the first game since I believe 2019 that had nothing but punts. Single drive in the first half was punts. That was the first time since 2019 that happened. That was because we did run, pass. Every drive, run, pass. We talked at a halftime. It was garbage during, and I'm glad that they changed it. 30 points in 30 minutes. I'll take it.
Matt, what about you? You think throwing the ball over the yard is the right way to go?
I think we saw a much better game plan offensively this past week. They threw more on early downs and used the play action. They can't just get into these roles trying to be run heavy on early downs, especially on second down. I think it's criminal how much Nathaniel Hackett likes to run the ball on second downs. And, that's not to say don't use Dalvin or Izzy, anybody like that. But I think the reason why the run game is struggling so much right now is because of teams stacking the box and going on. So I think they should throw to open up the game then. I'm not saying throw it 50 times a game, but I think it was 36 this past week for Wilson. 35 to 39, somewhere in that range, I think is a good number.
J-Boy comes in and says, does it effing matter who is under center as long as we win? Zach's ball, win out, kid. So look, I think it does matter who's under center, because if it's not someone that I think could be a long-term answer, I don't particularly want to see him. Like when Cobb scored the touchdown, I was like, really wish it was someone else. And it was supposed to go to Garrett. Garrett was out for getting a breather. But like, I don't want to win like a game with Trevor Siemian or or Tim Boyle. But Zach Wilson and Garrett Wilson and Breece and Rucker and all that. Yeah, let's ball out. 100%, J-Boy. I think we all agree there. Brian Bogan says, can we all just take a second to point and laugh at Mahomes? Oh, we didn't really have a good point and laugh at Mahomes. Green Bean was saying we got to talk about this beforehand. So, Green Bean, I'll let you lead the way on this one.
You hear me? That as long as you want, but I have fucking make sure you guys hear me.
I'm catching like every other word. It's like
it sucked.
I know.
Matt, say what I was gonna say.
I remember what Green Bean was going to say. I believe he called him a spoiled brat was the word.
There it is.
Putting words in Green's mouth, but I feel pretty confident in saying spoiled brat for Patrick Mahomes, and that he normally gets calls and that they won a Super Bowl based on a shut his mouth. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, for someone to complain about, like, oh, I can't believe you called that penalty then. It's like, dude, do you recognize like how many like wild calls have been in your favor or non-calls have been in your favor? Like we got screwed earlier this season for that. I was so sick of it. And honestly, the whole temper tantrum and everything, it was such a bad look because I feel like Mahomes is always looked at in such a good light. And that I felt like was a little bit of a tarnish on his resume. I do think that, or I shouldn't say resume, but a little bit of tarnish on his
reputation.
Yeah, right. And I don't know if I was looking at some of the stats. They're like that particular penalty this year has been called 11 times. Last year it was called 3 times, and the Chiefs haven't been called on that particular type of penalty since 1995. Been a long time since that last happened. Green Bean, anything else to add?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm torn, right? Because I want a team like the Chiefs with Reed and Mahomes about the officials. Mm-hmm. Like I want that kind of oomph behind the argument. But dude, the guy was clearly offside. They called it. I mean, it's like shut your face. And like the fact that they get so many calls, it's just like it's okay to gripe, but the way and the length of time it's laughable to me. And like he comes across spoiled, rotten child. And I think in most respects he is. He's babied by the NFL. You can't touch him. They get every call, and he's great. Don't get talented, but he's a big old puss pie. And now we see it, and it's really nice to see. Yet I want their argument to make some impact. See what I mean? It's weird. I'm having a hard time.
Mike the Stat Guy comes in and says, did Green Bean see my Zach pregame video? If you didn't see this, Mike the Stat Guy made a video of it's from School of Rock with Jack Black, and he's like, get mad at me. And he superimposed like the different faces of like Garrett Wilson and Robert Saleh and whoever else, and they're like you're ugly and you dress funny or whatever they were saying. And I was like, that's perfect.
Where do we find
Zach mad? I can forward it over to you. I retweeted it. So if you pull up Twitter, you'll be able to find it.
Okay.
Definitely funny. Worth a watch.
It was very good.
Let's see.
Let me see.
Radovan comes in and says, if we're going to beat Miami, we need to run better. Matt, you think that's the case? If in order to beat Miami, you think we got to run better?
Nope. I think it's stopping the run on defense and forcing the ball down the field, because Vic Fangio on defense is going to sell out against the run. It's going to be challenging to run against this Miami. So I don't think that's the way to beat that team.
I see Bishop in the chat. He says, shout out to all the fans who were at the game Sunday in the rain. Weather was terrible. We gave away 2 tickets to someone who got to bring, I don't know if I told you guys this, it was his 9-year-old daughter to her first game. I was like, that's really friggin' cool. I'm glad you were able to take her. Hopefully he stayed through the entire thing or was able to see like some scoring, because I feel bad for the fans. Actually, no, I don't feel bad for the fans that wound up leaving at halftime, because shame on you. You should stay the whole time. Just find cover. It was miserable. I don't know. I would not have gone to that game. Like weather-wise, not for me. Green Bean, any thoughts on our loyal fans out there?
Yeah, we were applauding them the whole time. I mean, you know what's crazy? Like when the game, right? there was, I mean, clearly it was like what, 10% filled, 15%, something like 20% filled. And you could hear the Jets chants through the TV. And then there are games when we suck ass and the stadium is like 80% filled. You can't hear a damn thing.
Crickets.
Right. So it's like, yeah, it's just crazy how an impassioned crowd can still I think it's amazing. And few people that were there, we talked to them. One is Maniac Matt, who was there. He was soaked. He called and he was soaked. Great. But yeah, I think we were saying the whole time, like, if you're going to go and sit through a game like that, and with that kind of weather, thank goodness gave him a good show, especially the first half. He was telling me a lot of people decided to leave, like they got a 2-hour ride home. They're like, screw this at halftime. That sucks. Sat through the whole first half, got all soaked, left, and then you missed that.
Especially because, like, it now correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it started to trail off the rain in the second half. So they could have just been like a little drier and actually seen some good football if they hung around. You never leave. Don't leave early. You miss the best games when you leave early. Ray Danger comes in, says, Zach versus Texans was definitely an aberration. Now the pressure is on him to duplicate his performance. I expect to see old Zach this week. Hope I'm wrong. Ray, see some positivity.
Yeah.
Because we don't get many of these. Let's be optimistic for once. Come on, turn that frown upside down. No negativity. RJ McPot dropping in, says, word on the street is that the locker room of the Bills there were AK-47 bullets popping off and chants death to America. Any confirmation? That's about McDermott's comments regarding 9/11. Greg Gagney says, what do you guys think of a 3 tight end set with Conklin, Ruckert, and Yeboah? I like it. I like seeing the heavy packages, like when you can have even Dwayne Brown in there as an extra lineman. Just load it up. We don't have a ton of wide receivers. So, like, if you can get Gibson on the field, if you can get Garrett Wilson on the field, and then load up everyone else with, like, a bunch of fat guys, perfect. Tight ends, strong, fast, bigger guys. Love it. Matt, you want to see more 3 tight end sets or big packages?
Well, right now, for the rest of this year, I would say yes, because of how bad the wide receiver room is outside of Garrett Wilson. So, for the time being.
What about you, Green Bean? I know you're a tight end kind of guy.
I am. That's my set right there. You know how good? Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, I got you.
Fucking A. It was nice to see Yeboah out there, man. And he was out there on the offense. He was playing some specials. And yeah, I think, dude, use the kid, right? Why not? He's talented as hell. Use him. He's healthy. Just have no receivers, man. You got Garrett Wilson and nobody. Throw it to Yeboah. I think it's great to see. I would love to see more 13s. That's what I'd like to see. Garrett, Breece, and the tight ends.
Yes.
Pedro hops in. Thank you for the super chat. Says, winning out means a playoffs. Miami will lose out and plenty of critical injuries in the AFC. So I don't know what our actual percentage chance is right now. It cannot be very high. But if you win against Miami, things start getting a little interesting because some of these 5-6 or 6-5 teams or whatever the records are right in front of us. A lot of them are playing each other right now. And Miami's schedule is not easy. They got the Jets, then they got Dallas, then they got Baltimore, then they got Buffalo. And Buffalo's schedule is not particularly easy either. They do have New England in there though, so that's, you kind of got to chalk that up to a win, and you probably need Buffalo to beat Miami in the final game of the season. I don't know how it works out. I don't know if there's a way for us to get the division if we win out and the other two lose a few games. Because I think losing to the Chargers, the Raiders, and I guess in a way the Patriots put us behind the 8 ball in terms of common opponents. Matt, do you know anything as far as like what it would take for us to get into the playoffs? I know obviously winning out, but what other stuff has to happen?
I don't think there's a way the Jets can win the division, because I think even if the Dolphins lost out and the Jets the Dolphins would have the best record against the common opponent. So I think it would have to be a wild card spot.
Okay. So I guess Green Bean, I'll throw it to you. Do you think that there is a shot that Miami loses out or that the Jets make the playoffs? Like where do you stand on, like, I guess how likely it is? How confident are you in our final 4 games, let alone like what other people are going to do?
Well, it's all about we beat Miami, and let me tell you, look what this one game did to the fan base. One game. We lost 4 in a row. We win 1 game in the rain, and it's nuts. Got the Zacksters out there. We got the tanksters versus the Zacks. Crazy. We beat Miami, dude. And what do we got? The Skins, or what the Commanders,
the Commies.
Then the Browns, but you're right. You got the Commies, the Brownies, and then the Patsies, right? So that's what we're looking at here after the Fins. It's very under, they all can beat the shit. We know what the Patriots are. We know that, Washington's not as bad. The Browns defense is sick. You know what I mean? So, we could very easily, but when you compare it to like Miami's schedule, it's not the same thing, right? So here I stand, dude. Okay. I think this is meant to be. That's how far I've gone into this fucking bullshit wormhole. Okay. I think it's God. That's what I think. I think it's, dip us in the pits only to watch us rise. And until it's otherwise, until math tells me we're out, I'm in. That's where I stand. I think we're doing it, guys. I think we're doing it.
We're going to pull one of those Rex Ryan, well, it looks like we're out of the playoffs, and then back our way in at 9-7. I'll take a 9-8 into the playoffs. That'd be really nice. Absolutely. Anything. Jet Engine.
Hell yeah.
What's up, dude? Good to have you in here. Says the key to the game is putting Tua on his ass and containing Tyreek Hill. Hill is their entire offense. When he was out, they stalled completely versus Tennessee. Yeah, that team did not look good when Tyreek Hill was out. And I don't think he's going to be 100% for this game either. So I think you're probably going to see a hobbled version of him. And look, if we can contain Waddle and I don't know, get some pressure on Tua, make him, run around a little bit. He's not like, he's mobile, but he's not super like elusive in the pocket. Like he kind of got stuck a bit against the Titans. Matt, what do you think the Jets' plan is for Tyreek Hill, or how do you feel about Tyreek Hill going against our secondary the way he's currently, looking as of last night?
So I was going to say, I think banged up Tyreek Hill is very different than a healthy Tyreek Hill. Healthy Tyreek Hill is very challenging to keep under 100 yards, no matter who you put on him. Mm-hmm. But if he's not 100%, then, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Michael Carter, and the rest of the crew are going to have, an easier time, not an easy time, but Tyler's injury and an ankle injury for a speedy is a big deal.
It's huge. The ability to cut on an ankle is very challenging when you have something going on with it. Edward Ziff drops in, says, I believe Joe Douglas's biggest fear is that 2 or 3 years from now, Zach will light up the league, and that's why he is so all in spite of the last 30 games. I mean, I'll be honest, that's exactly where I'm at on this too. Like, I'm afraid to give up on Zach Wilson because of what he might do in the flashes that we have seen. Now, I don't know if he can string together enough to light the league on fire, but I'm fine with, we're already committed to his salary. If we can bring him back as quarterback 3, assuming he, continues to play reasonably well and the relationship isn't entirely fractured back there. He was supposed to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year. I would love for him to actually have the ability to do that, at least for one season. Green Bean, do you think that Joe Douglas' biggest fear is that Zach Wilson lights the league on fire in 2 or 3 years? I would say I don't know if it's Douglas's biggest fear because he's the one that made the pick.
Yeah. He doesn't give 2 shits. I did that before, remember? I could give 2 shits. That's what he said when we talked about Sam. If Sam goes to Carolina and is a good quarterback, does that make you look bad? He said, I could give 2 shits. Right? He doesn't care. So if Zach Wilson is good in 3 years, that makes him bad for getting rid of him now. It makes no sense. There's a real narrative about the Jets should have kept Geno Smith. I think people are fucking brain damaged. That's what I think. We're supposed to wait 9 years? We can't wait 9 weeks. What are we talking about? So it's a easy thing, man. So no, like, look, if Zach plays his ass and we miss the playoffs, but he throws for, let's say, 3 out of 5 or just around 300 yards, he throws for multiple touchdowns, quarterback, fucking sell high, dude. Sell high. Call it a day. Bop, beep, boop. Good luck. Go to KC, Mahomes, and become the best damn quarterback of years when Mahomes gets injured or whatever, or gets old. That's the scenario for him. And then we move on and we get whatever we're going to do. You get a new guy behind Rodgers and you go that way. This whole idea that if somebody's good, tell me the last guy that we got rid of that went out and lit up the league, and then we'll talk. I mean, the best is Mason Pinnock. Who else? Talk to me. Cashman. All these fucking guys we're losing. Cashman. Jesus.
Right?
Don't forget, we traded him 2 years ago. Again, we traded him 2 years ago, dude. He had 4 straight injury-plagued seasons, including last year. So it's like, all right, yeah, great. He's had 1 year. Let's see. He's a good player. Fine. But like, is Elijah Moore? He's fine. He's fine. He's going to have statistically his best season. He's still not what he was supposed to be. He's not lighting the league up. Nobody gives a shit. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. Like, we're always tears leaving. And dude, the guy has had so many, talking about one game. I'm in. I just shared. I expressed my feelings. We're going to the playoffs. We're going to win it out, running the table. But let's be fucking real for a second. When Zach Wilson puts more than one consecutive game together, that's really, really good, then we'll have a real conversation. He's yet to do it in his career. Yet to do it. Good game and then a not terrible game. Enough game. But he's not had 2, like, light your hair on fire games. He hasn't done it. If he does, I'm in. But, we got to come.
Tom Cahill comes in with Super Chat, says, "What's up, guys? I see Breece getting stronger. There were 2 plays he really upped the gear. He's just getting started. I think having the pass open up the run is what allowed Breece to kind of go off a little bit more, because our offensive line still is not creating like a great run push. Like, I'm watching Miami's game last night. They got dudes like 𝐒𝐭𝐿 and Mostert running 5-6 yards before someone touches them. Breece Hall's getting hit in the backfield consistently. Yeah. Where he's got to do spin moves to try and like make shit happen. Like, I think getting Breece out in space and catching the ball, I'm fine with that if he can't get going on the ground. Matt, where do you fall on Breece and his usage and how he's played so far?
Yeah, I'm glad that he's being utilized more as a pass catcher. He's essentially their second receiver, not a wide receiver, right? But just second in targets in the receiving game behind Garrett Wilson, as I think it should be. And Tyler Conklin 3, like, that makes sense. Those are your 3 probably best offensive weapons right now. And then you get into Jeremy Ruckert, Xavier Gipson, guys like that. I agree with you when you say that the pass game and the play action has to open up the run. Right now, especially, teams are not respecting the Jets' passing attack. They don't think they're going to take shots down the field. Their offensive line is a part of the reason for that, and the play calling is a part of the reason for it, but they will be able to go back to the run once they are able to show that they can beat you with the pass, right? Like, they want to run the ball, and then they are struggling to run the ball, and then they continue to try to run the ball more, and that just leads into even more failure. Like, it just wasn't working. So they need to pivot, and Hackett did, to his credit. Like, look, we've been critical of Zach Wilson on this show. We've been critical of Nathaniel Hackett on this show. We praised Zach Wilson this week. I think we need to praise Nathaniel Hackett. I think he called a great game on the Houston Texans. I really couldn't ask for too much better from him. Repeat it. Do the same thing again against Miami.
Completely agree. I think it opened up everything, and hopefully we get to see a little bit more of this moving forward. Pedro says, is Aaron part of this godly run, Green Bean? Do you want to see Aaron Rodgers take snaps for the New York Jets this year, Green Bean?
Yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like, again, I don't care anymore. I don't give two shits about him either. If he wants to come in and play and risk it all, I'm in, dude. You know what I mean? I don't care. Christmas Eve, Aaron Rodgers. I'm down for Chinatown. I'm just wanting to watch some damn football. We close out the season with a couple real football games, and we talk about free agency and the draft on a buzz. I care about, Ryan. I just want to catch a buzz.
I like it. Boba Jet comes in. He says, gents, thank you for the tickets. My daughter was the lucky charm. Yes, she was.
Love that.
Heck, if your daughter's the reason that Zach Wilson turns his career around, we have a franchise quarterback. Matt, myself, and Green Bean are going to take full credit in sending you those tickets, as well as our listener whose name is escaping me off the top of my head right now that gave us the tickets to give away to you. So thank you. Let's see. We got Jet Engine coming in. What's up, Jet Engine? He says, as a known not high on Zach guy, if Zach can play well over the next 4 games, he should be retained through his rookie contract, like it or not. But we've seen this before. Let's let it play out. So Jet Engine, I don't know if you've been over on the forums, Green Bean, but he's been going back and forth a little bit, and I know he's not the biggest Zach fan, but I think he's starting to get a little bit more accepting of it. Like, if we get to see an extra game or two, like, do you have to see 4 good games, Green Bean, to justify Zach coming back? Or are you, like, kind of off the Zach train sort of regardless of what happens because his value will be so high if he does do well?
I mean, I'll tell you what, we got, 4 left. If he can just play, let's say he plays half of them like he did against the Texans, and the other ones he goes that like version of himself where he's like a 200-yard, no interceptions, but leads us to a victory, kind of safe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that. I think that, but again, like, let's have 2 in a row. Like, that's really where it is. Like, I love you guys know I get called a Zach hater because people are dumb, right? That's what it is. It's like, I have been the most Zach. I didn't like the kid coming out of the draft. All right. I have been the most objective Zach Wilson guy, or among the most objective. When he's played poorly, I've said it. When he's played well, I've said it. I've rooted for him. I created a saying that every friggin' week called 𝐒𝐫𝐞𝐫𝐢𝐻𝐫𝐽. I scream it for hours and hours every friggin' Sunday, and the kid just can't see it. 2 games. The best stat ever, guys. This is just the best one to show you what's up, okay? And blame it on every reason in the world and why it's hard to have faith in Zach Wilson while rooting for him as you would any other player on the Jets. CJ Stroud, 20 games, or wait, was it 10 games? How many games did they fucking play so far this year? I don't even remember. What is it?
Not 20.
4, 8, 12? So 12 games?
We're in week 14.
How many games? I don't know. I'm just stupid.
We just finished week 14.
20 touchdowns. Okay, so he has 14 or 20 touchdowns in 14 weeks. Zach Wilson has 21 or 22 now, right? 23 in 3 years. That says it all, man. That says it all. What CJ Stroud is doing is what Zach Wilson, what we wanted Zach, and maybe not even as good, but something like that. You know, Herbert, all these guys that come in and got the juice. They might not be great, but they got the juice. Zach Wilson has shown you a smattering of games. It's very, very hard to have faith, and rooting for him. I hope he does 4 straight 300 yards. I'll cheer every single minute for that to happen.
Hennessy comes in. Hennessy says, isn't it funny how no one, truthers blame the O-line, defense, special teams, drop passes, coaching staff, JD, the turf, and the fans when we win. So no one blames. Oh, well, yeah, no, hold on. We were talking about it. We said it earlier. He said, hey, this was the perfect culmination of wide receivers not dropping passes, offensive line blocking reasonably well outside of Becton, and like, you know, no penalties. It was a clean game. Overall, this was like the best team win we've had all season, I think. Matt, would you agree, like, best team win we've had?
Oh, for sure. It was the first time they had a legit lead. And then we got to see the defense create, what was it, 3 or 4 and outs in a row? Like, they're absolutely dominant. Not only was it awesome for Zach Wilson to come out there and perform, but the entire offense, they scored 3 touchdowns in a game. The defense allowed only 6 points, and 6 points came off of a fumble where the offense only had, but still, like, it was just from top to bottom. That was about the best game they've played all year.
Green Bean, what are you thinking? The best team win we've had?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not just 2/3 of the team playing. Every game we've played this year, I mean, you know, right, but most of the games we've played this year, the defense and the special teams were playing damn near elite football. Our offense couldn't get out of its own way. It's real nice to see our offense. I mean, defensive line, Zach got dangerously killed on a couple of plays. There was that one
behind
from it was like low in the legs, dude. I was like, oh, I thought he was done. I thought I was like, I flag too, but you know. But yeah, I mean, I think the offensive line still had their woes. Zach just was more decisive. Look, there was one play. There were a couple plays where Zach threw it away right in the face of pressure, which we didn't see all year, by the way. One of them, he made a completion. Guy was right in his face. He just threw it right there. It was a tight end, just boop, right to him. And that was like, that's what a quarterback does. That you throw it into the pressure, man. And that's what a good quarterback can do. We saw Zach Wilson do it. Now, like you said, significantly less penalty. So that obviously helps. Although I think found a way to have one just to help keep he's about consistency, you know. But yeah, I think it was definitely our best team win. I think without question.
Let's see. We've got Charles. Charles comes in and says, what is good, guys? Green Bean, my friend, I think you need to calm down. I don't think Green Bean's got to come down at all. I think you need to calm down, Charles.
Yeah.
Ramp up, baby.
Charles. Charles, how many more years I got left of this energy, buddy? Come on. Take the chains off.
Plenty. You got plenty. Let's see. We got Jet Engine coming in. Where'd it go? He says, I worked 2 shifts on a ladder truck with an undiagnosed broken ankle and ATF tear. Rodgers plays if he can. He's an adult and a Hall of Famer. I mean, look, I'll be honest. The reason I really wanted to see him play is to give me hope for next year that this offense can be more than what we've seen all season. But with Zach going off the way he did last week, if he can do it, I'm a little more okay with just not seeing Rodgers again. Now, if they want to do some ceremonious, like, hey, we're going to do 2 drives or something like that, and it's going to be treated like a preseason game, I'm cool with that too. Who am I kidding? I would love to see Rodgers out there. I just want to see him slinging the rock. What do you think, Green Bean? You want to see Rodgers out there?
But I do. But I do have to say, it is really tough. Like, let's say everything falls the way we need it to fall. Miami loses out. The Raiders lose out. The Broncos shit the bed. The Chargers keep with Herbert out for the, like, all the stuff happens that we need to happen. And Zach's winning with 300-yard games. It is really hard to pull him for Rusty Rodgers, isn't it? It just is. Sure. But I'd still do it. You gotta. I think you gotta.
You have to.
Yeah.
We got Jet Engine coming in with the 20 spot. Thank you so much, Jet Engine. He says, not a big fan of Zach. And he has been far more bad than good. White and Flacco have been better for the Jets, but we have him on a rookie contract, and in the highly unlikely event Zach Wilson plays like that, run it back a year with number 8. So that's exactly where I fall. Like, the whole plan was for Zach to sit a whole year. You got to pay him anyway. if you can get someone to trade him, you save $5.4 million, I think is what it is. And I don't know. I mean, you're going to turn around and pay that probably to another backup quarterback. I like having the high upside. Maybe you decide like during the draft process that you trade him. Like if a quarterback you like for the future is there in like rounds 3 or 4 or something like that. And you're like, okay, this is the time to move him. Let's do it. And then you get a 3rd or 4th round pick if that's what you can muster. I mean, if he plays the way he played, I think you could get much higher than a 4th round pick if he plays like Texans Zach for the last 4 games. I think other teams are going to bet on the Jets' incompetence more than anything else with Zach Wilson. Matt, where do you fall on what the trade value for Zach could be? Like, do you think that if Zach balls out, like we could get a halfway decent pick for him, like higher than a 4th?
2. Jamal Adams, 2.0. No.
Okay.
I don't know how much higher.
Let's do it.
I don't know how much higher again than the 5th. I think we forget a lot. There were probably 25 or so bad starts and 7 good starts. So I don't know if it's going to be enough of a sample size to be like, yeah, let's throw a 2nd round pick to the Jets for Zach Wilson.
I mean, if it's a team at the end of the draft, I don't know who's losing a quarterback. Let's see. Pull up Tankathon real quick. So a team like yeah, I guess every team back there would have a quarterback. So that's kind of a bad way to look at that. Tampa maybe might be an interesting landing spot, depending on what happens with Baker.
Yeah, wait. What are you looking on Tankathon? What are you talking about?
I'm going from the bottom part of the round on Tankathon, where the lowest part of the draft picks would be, to see what teams might need a quarterback due to an aging vet or like an injury or whatever. So I'm looking at 32 and working my way up. So Baltimore doesn't need one. San Francisco doesn't need one. Dallas won't need one. Miami doesn't need one. Philadelphia doesn't need one. Detroit doesn't need one. Jacksonville doesn't need one. Kansas City doesn't need one. Houston/Cleveland won't need one. Pittsburgh will probably need one, but I get the feeling they might try to go after Justin Fields in the offseason. Minnesota at 22 is really the first team that I come across, and like maybe Tampa would be the teams furthest down that list. But Tampa could be picking in the top 5 if they don't win the division. So like, I don't know. I don't know what we can get.
Yeah, interesting.
Right? Was that a weird way to look at that? But I'm kind of thinking like,
no, it is. Go on, Matt. Please.
Who's going to trade for him to?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Who is going for him to be I don't think you need to be looking at which team have or don't have a quarterback. At absolute best case scenario, he is a quarterback.
I think quarterback 2 is the best you can get. I don't know. What other teams are out there? I think like competing for a starting job is probably like maybe in the cards. I don't know where he'd wind up. Like Heineke or no, I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing. Atlanta needs a quarterback. Maybe he's going to Atlanta. 𝐒𝐫𝐞𝐞𝐳 comes in and says, hey, Ryan, freeze Matt, please. Question. With Miami loss, how you guys feeling about the chances of making the playoffs and moving back in the draft? 9-8, baby. Woo! So we're feeling confident. We all think we're going to make the playoffs right now. Until we can't mathematically make it, we're winning out, and that's how it's going to be. I don't want to hear anything else about it. Hey, Matt, you got anything to say? Not. Ha, ha, ha. I should have froze Green Bean. He's not here. There's
I'm here.
Green Bean, what are you thinking? After the Miami loss, are we making the playoffs?
Yes. Yes, 𝐒𝐫𝐞𝐞𝐳. Thanks for freezing, Matt. I'm already freezing, so you don't have to do that.
I think that's a me problem, unfortunately.
I think it is what it is at this point, right? I think we're gonna watch some of the one of the most delightful season ends in all of Jets history. Brace yourself, sharpen your blades and your Timberlands, because we're gonna be stomping through the NFL while Miami loses out. That's what we're going to watch. We're going to watch the Jets win out, Miami lose out, and we're going to find a way into the playoffs because everybody's beat and we're just hitting our side. That's what's going on. It's going to be delightfully boogie. Get ready, bud.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Boys and girls, if you're just hopping in here, please hit that like button. We've got nearly 500 people in here and only 172 likes.
Yeah.
We'll go a long way. Long way. If you could hit that like button, maybe tell a friend to tell a friend about the Talkin Jets panel. Go a long way. Go a real long way. If you want to get entered into our t-shirt giveaway, t-shirt or jersey giveaway, we're going to do that at the end of the stream. If you're listening after the fact, after this is aired, all you have to do is leave a comment down below this video with a timestamp and let us, select you for next week's t-shirt giveaway, potentially. Random. But we'll do that at the end of the show. Let's see. Who else we got in here? We've got... I lost my place. We were on jet engine. There he goes. Anyone blaming the defense or special teams of the Jets for anything this year is an idiot that doesn't know shit about football.
Yeah.
Matt, the intro to Talkin Jets, if you guys haven't seen it, go back and watch the very beginning of this. Matt's intro is just perfect. Can you do it again for us?
How do you blame the defense? Something like that.
It's so good. It's so true. It's just so true. Hennessy comes in and says, I was saying the truthers blame everyone but Zach. I understood what you were saying, Hennessy. I was trying to articulate that in a correct way. Like, hey, when Zach wins, those other guys don't get the benefit of the doubt necessarily. But when, we lose, Zach's not the reason we lost. It's the other things. And I understand. I'll be honest. I think Zach's probably like 4th or 5th on my list as far as reasons why we are not winning. Or we're not winning this year. There's a few games that you could definitely pencil him in for, like the Charger game. I squarely put on Zach Wilson, but outside of that, I don't know. We've had so many drop passes. I think I saw we were number 3. Zach Wilson had the 3rd most drop passes, and he was out for 2 games. That's what's crazy. He was behind Patrick Mahomes, and I don't know if it was Lamar or I forget who the other quarterback was. But it's wow, all those guys played every game, and Zach is missing 2, and he's 3rd on the list. That is not a good stat to have on there. Right-handed downtown Brooklyn comes in the super chat, says, I agree with you, Green Bean. Let's go. Talking about making
Where
playoffs.
we going?
Going to playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
yeah. I'm right. I'm right-handed, man. Let's go.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
We got Sleepy Chode in the chat, says, what happens if Rodgers re-injures himself on Christmas? Is that 2 Jets? Yes, it's absolutely 2 Jets. And it's something that if it were to happen, we would get made fun of the entirety of the offseason. We'd be in pure panic mode all the way up until training camp. And then we'd realize he has twice as long to heal from this Achilles injury as he did from what his first Achilles injury was as of, if he comes back on the 4th, it'll be 104 days since that injury. He's going to have 250 days or whatever it is to get back in shape. So twice as long, I'm all right with it. Matt, any concern if Rodgers re-injures himself?
No, September's a long time away.
I like that.
I fully expect it to happen, by the way.
I know. It's just, anytime we have something like that, you just have to expect it, right? The joke that was, Aaron Rodgers is going to go to the New York Jets and he's going to die on the field the first play. And it happened 3 plays after that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
These jokes write themselves. It's terrible. Charles Gorman says, I didn't mean any disrespect, Mr. Greenbean. I know you've been a suffering Jets fan a lot longer than me. I'm just worried about your health. Charles.
That's a worse insult, dude. You did it worse. I'm just worried about your heart, dude.
I know you're old and you probably need to get a colonoscopy, but hey, this is just Charles Gorman pouring some fucking salt on the wound. Thanks, Charles.
That's even better. Hey, dude, Charles, I picked up my daughter from school earlier this week, and somebody said, "Oh, is that your grandpa?" So there's nothing you can say that hits. Nothing hits like that, dude.
It's the beard. It's the beard.
It is totally.
That's what
And
it
the
is.
thing is like this, right? I'm
You're
aware.
a
Like
good-looking
I'm
grandpa
fucking
if you're a
fine,
good-looking.
dude.
Like if they're calling you a grandpa,
Damn
you're a
right.
good-looking grandpa.
Dude, we're watching like season 11 of Hell's Kitchen, right? With me and my wife. And there's a 51-year-old guy on there. He looks like he's 15 years my senior, 10 minimum. And it's like he's like slow. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be 51 on Friday. It's like, I'm not 51, dude. If I didn't have this beard, look like I'm 20, of course. There's nobody beats Father Time. But this, I'm aware of what I want. I am what I look like, dude. I know what this is. So if somebody thinks I'm a grandpa because that's the thing they see, fucking so be it. I'm good, man. I'm aging gracefully, everybody. Plus, I was just telling Matt and then Ryan for the stream, dude, I'm dipping my 9-degree water on a daily basis. So like I'm on the upswing. You know what I mean? I'm taking Testosterone, I'm hitting the gym, I'm dunking my body, smoking crack. It's gonna be great.
No crack.
No crack. No crack. Now, Green Bean, can you,
Did I say that out
sit
loud?
up just a little bit more and show the monkeys on your shirt? Let's see if you can, in particular, your monkey, because I have a little bit of a story about this particular monkey.
Oh, yeah. The old man.
So Green Bean's got the, all right, let me see if I could pull up the image, because it's tough to see, because I think it's like the hat portion that I'm looking for. Give me 1 second.
You can get yourself one of these, by the way, everybody, on talkinjets.com. It's fucking comfortable. Let me tell you something. I love this sweatshirt.
Oh, it's great.
I love it.
So
I wear it all the time.
This is the monkey graphic that we have on there. And when we were doing this and getting the artwork approvals and everything, we're bouncing back and forth. We're like, hey, we should do the hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. Here's the props we're going to have with each of us. Matt's going to have the microphone. I'm going to have the pilot hat. Green Bean's got his beard. And I was like, maybe we should make Green Bean's black hairy arms gray. And he's like, I don't have gray hair. I got brown hair. And he like lost it
I'm like,
on me.
dude, like, what the fuck, man?
Sorry.
Yeah, I got mad. I'm all good with being called I'm the old man, right? So I know I got the white beard, but don't you dare draw a line right here. This is where it stops. You know what I mean? That's it.
It was in love.
I know.
Lucky Leo comes in and says, we traded Sam for a second. I think a second for Zach is doable. Also, I like to trade for Fields. That would be awesome. Sexy Rexy mentioned it, and I'm down. There's no way on God's green earth that Joe Douglas is going to trade his number 2 overall pick for the quarterback that he passed on in that same draft, who's also a struggling sort of quarterback that his team also kind of sort of wants to get rid of because they got a high pick this year. Not going to happen. 0% chance, Lucky Leo. It'd be fun. Don't get me wrong. I would enjoy watching Fields compared to what we've seen the last few years, but I would like a higher level bar than what Fields has performed at so far in his young career. Matt, you think there's any shot Justin Fields becomes a New York Jet?
I think I have back for the Jets than Justin Fields next year.
You don't even have to show the combine video.
No combine. I for all the reasons you just said. For he's not going to then give up a draft pick for the quarterback that they could have taken. Just use whatever mid-round pick it would take and draft a different rookie quarterback and have them for a significantly cheaper deal and restart the clock, because Justin Fields and Zach Wilson, you're not picking up their fifth. Each of them will only have 1 year remaining on their deal anyway.
Mm-hmm. Greemy, what about you? You think trading for Fields is the way to go? Or actually, you know what? I'm going to say not trading for Fields. Let's say a second-round pick. So, Lucky Leo, I'm going to give you a different part of this particular Super Chat. Do you think a second-round pick for Zach is doable? Let's say he plays like Texans Zach the rest of the way out.
Yeah. If he plays like Zach, absolutely. 'Cause then you can start and all the other stuff. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can start factoring in offensive coordinators. You can start factoring in maybe Hackett is nothing without Rodgers. You can factor in the most offensive line combinations maybe ever. And then you have the drop pass. Then you can start adding all this stuff in and you say, okay, he's finally matured. He's clearly matured on the podium, right? He's clearly kind of developed of a figure in the clubhouse. Maybe not a leader yet, but he got like maybe the respect, you know what I mean? And definitely maturing. So somebody that's got their, at least believes that the offensive chops, the development chops, maybe a Reed or whoever, I'm drawing a blank now for some reason. But all guys, they might, you know what I mean? They might, especially if they're looking for quarterback and the second round is just, they feel like they're going to have to put 2 or 3 years into somebody. Well, let's just take this kid. He's got a stronger arm than he's clearly got mobility. He's had a bum deal. Same deal with Sam Darnold, man. Like if he shits the bed, we'd be lucky to get a 5th. Like somebody in the chat said, we got a 4th for Trey Lance. We can get more that's fine, but don't forget, Zach has significantly more suck than Trey Lance too. He doesn't have the Trey Lance didn't have as much playing time as Zach Wilson, but Trey Lance didn't suck as Zach Wilson either. Zach Wilson has really played poorly, and anybody worth their shit, like it's not just through a fan perspective. When you look at the games, and I got in a couple debates this week with people about the idea that they open all year. That's simply not true. We're not lighting the league up. We don't have fucking T. Higgins and Jamar Chase out there, right? That's clear. But there are so many opportunities with offensive line and this wide receiver core that Zach would not take advantage of. And defenses see that, like we've talked about before. If you want to know how the NFL views Zach Wilson, look at how every coach in the entire league plays against Zach Wilson. That tells you everything you know. They do not respect him. Now, maybe that changes. He goes 5 straight games with like 280 plus and multiple touchdowns. Now we're talking. He's turning the corner. Coach will bite, in my opinion.
If he does that, I don't want to trade him. But I was just looking. The 49ers only have Sam Darnold under contract for 1 year. There was the rumors that Shanahan really wanted to go up and get Zach. I could absolutely see them throwing a pick. They got a first, a second, 2/3, a 4th. They got a lot of draft capital. They got 11 draft picks. I could absolutely see them taking a 1-year gamble on him in the, hey, you're going to back up Purdy. Purdy's our guy. And then if Zach does anything, they could flip him for a draft pick at another point. I think Shanahan could make him look really good. I think Shanahan's a friggin', genius when it comes to any quarterback position. Piddledy Poo comes in with a 20
What did they do
spot.
with Sam?
What was that?
What do they do with Sammy boy? Sorry, Piddly Poo. What do they do with Sammy?
Well, he's a free agent.
Well, don't they want to keep him? Great. Don't they love him?
I don't know. If you could get Zach Wilson, do you think Zach Wilson could be a higher ceiling than whatever Sam Darnold has shown there? And he's probably cheaper than, he's probably about the same. $5 million for Zach versus, probably $4 or $5 million for Sammy boy, I would think.
Yeah, I don't know. Sammy's there, right? Why not keep him? But honestly, I think that when they traded up to 3, they were hoping that Zach Wilson was going to be the guy to slip to that. That's still I maintain that. I think you're
right.
So maybe
it seemed like Zach would fit far too well in that system for that not to be the pick. Piddledy Poo comes in, says, you guys are underestimating the value of a young quarterback, regardless of his history. If Zach plays the rest of the way like he did this past Sunday, oh boy, most people blame the Jet coaching staff for Zach's play. Yeah, the national narrative, like as much as we have seen all of Zach's plays, and we know the backstory of how he has performed, the national media, like the 30, I think we'll call it 30 other teams, just because the Giants are in our media landscape as well. But the 30 other teams in the league, they're looking at the Jets. They're saying, like, these guys cannot develop a quarterback. They're constantly ragging on this kid. They dragged him through the dirt. He had 2 offensive coordinators. One was a first-time OC. The other one was a failed OC or a failed head coach that became, in here. They didn't give him any time to sit. They threw him to the wolves. He didn't have any weapons. There's no offensive line. Like, they're going to make a bunch of excuses, just like they did with Sam Darnold and Adam Gase. I think Piddle-Dee-Poo is right. I do think that, well, especially if Zach Ball's out. I think if Zach Ball's out, we're getting a second for him. I don't think we're going to get a first from anyone, but I think a second-round pick is squarely in the conversation if he balls out the way he did this past Sunday. Matt, do you want to refute anything I've just said?
Yeah, I mean, Zach Wilson had Sam Darnold had significantly more flashes in his 3 years than in his 3 years. That would be my rebuttal. And I was, you guys remember where I was. I wanted to move on off of Sam Darnold. I thought it was the right decision to reset the clock and, start over. The team wasn't going to be ready to compete. And, the rookie contract, all those things. And for all those reasons. And they moved off of Sam Darnold and drafted Zach Wilson. And just because I wanted the Jets to draft Zach Wilson, I don't think means that now at this point you have to stand that decision and be like, oh, like that's it. You just got to keep him forever until it works out. Like, I don't know. I think if you see after whatever it's going to be, 35 starts, if there's 2 games with 2 touchdowns and 300 yards versus 28 games with 0 touchdowns and I don't think it's going to be enough to get someone to bite for a second and a fourth. Maybe. I hope, obviously, because that'd be better for the Jets. But maybe I still think you're looking at a day 3 pick.
So that's the tricky part of it all, right? Like, there's quarterbacks in the league, or maybe not so much in the league right now, because the shifting of the rookie contract has changed the value and how long teams can wait on a quarterback. Like, when Steve Young had all that time to develop, it wasn't necessarily the same type of contract that they are now. Alex Smith, I don't know. How long did it take him before he wound up doing well? It was until Harbaugh got there. It had to be 5 years, probably, maybe 6. He was struggling he was awful for so long. And then if you told me I could get Alex, I think he finished with like 35,000 yards. Alex Smith's a good quarterback.
Yeah, I mean that's such a big outlier, though. Of like, normally people like, what are the chances of someone with this production through 3 years is going to turn into even an Alex Smith level of quarterback?
I mean, it's not very high because there's not many guys that have had this long to be this bad. Usually, if they're playing this poorly, they're getting swapped out a little earlier. I think because Alex Smith was the number 1 overall pick, and I think because Zach Wilson was the number 2 overall pick, I think that's why we're seeing as long of a leash on them. I don't know. I get the feeling based on his, I don't know. The fear in me is like, man, he's just going to go off somewhere else, and we're going to look like even worse, like, as an organization. And I don't want that to happen. Like, if Zach leaves and goes somewhere else, like, I really want him to suck because I don't want to have to deal with the, like, oh man, he was so good and the Jets let him walk out the door. I don't want to see it.
I wouldn't bet on it.
I wouldn't either.
That's called governing your life by fear.
Oh, dude,
I prefer to live my life by facts. That's why I live. What have you seen? Collect the data. That's my thing.
I don't need data. I have alternative facts in my head that I'm going to listen to, and I'm going to say I'm terrified. Yeah. It's the same fear that every fucking Jet fan has. Well, we're going to cut someone. Oh, look, the Patriots picked him up for the last 20 years, and it's like, Danny Woodhead, now he's good. Or like, I don't know. I guess there's not like a crazy laundry list of players, but literally, like, every time we feel like the Patriots pick up a guy, the reaction is always like, oh, great, now he's going to be good. And that's just sort of how I feel about Zach. And maybe that's just ingrained into me from like years and years of like pain. But like, I don't know. I am nervous. I'm nervous that he's going to do well elsewhere and not for us. It would really
So you're willing to continue this cycle of pure ineptitude?
I would be willing to have him as quarterback 3 for the duration of time that we have him under his guaranteed contract for, barring getting like a high draft pick for him. If you get a second round pick and they want to move off him, fine. I don't care. But like, if the best pick you're going to get is a 5th or 6th round pick, no, I do not want to get rid of him. I'd rather him compete with another quarterback to be quarterback 2, make him work for quarterback 2, and worst case scenario, you have a Jacoby Brissett or whoever is your quarterback 2, and then you got Zach who you can make inactive or whatever, the emergency quarterback. I would rather that, and then wait for a team to lose a quarterback, showcase him in preseason, and then trade him before the season next year, as opposed to letting him walk in the offseason. I think we have a much better shot of making him look good over the course of the next, 8 months before the start of next season. Like, I'm not saying to start him over Aaron Rodgers or to even make him the backup next year. I'm saying bring in the backup like you would have. And I think Zach and his upside is worth more to us than the 5th or 6th round pick that you could get for him and the loss of whatever the 53rd player on our roster would be. Like, I think I'd rather lose player 53 and keep Zach for the upside than have a 5th round pick and, someone from the 5th round. That's just my thing.
I would rather get him off the roster so we don't have to do it's everyone else's fault but Zach Wilson's for another year.
But do you think that happens if we have another quarterback in front of him? Like, if we have 2 quarterbacks in front of him, the same thing's going to happen with Zach?
Yes. I mean, have you seen these people online? They're crazy. Okay,
but
Denver.
I'm saying that we should have had a viable backup quarterback, though.
We do have a viable backup quarterback. It's the receivers, it's the penalties, it's the coaching, it's the law, everything else.
But wait, are you saying? You're being tongue in cheek.
No.
Right?
No. I'm saying it. That's the truth of it. Like where Matt is, it's like I've said before. If you look back through NFL history, and I'm sure anomalies, but generally speaking, when there's a starting quarterback benched or overtaken by somebody else, they get him off the team. You see why? Because it causes rifts. There's all kinds of weird dynamics at play. They just clean the slate. It's healthier for the organization. Here we are again, and there's all madness. Look at Salah's face in the interviews. He looks like he's gone. I mean, not this week. He seemed a little bit better because we won. But he's like, and he's got to talk about this fucking Zach Wilson. This is 3 years of talking about this guy. And it's just like, you got to clean it, man. And like, it have every potential to, in 2, 3, 5 years, to be a good quarterback. Sure thing. But clearly, he's not now. Now, if he's turning a corner, let's see him play 2 good games in a row. When he finally does that, we can have a different conversation. He has not done in 3 mother effing years, dude. So I just, the whole idea that it's somehow going to be better if Zach's quarterback 3. It's like, well, I should be quarterback 2. There's going to be all this stuff caters to Zach Truthers. Fucking Aaron Rodgers goes down and Brissett comes in or whoever it is. And then you got the people calling for Zach. It's just madness. You just clean it and you go forward with the team, the team that you can build. That's what, in my opinion, if you can get a pick, if he's playing well and the pick goes up 2 rounds, you take it and you jump. That's what I think.
I feel like
it's better
if Rodgers goes down and we have a Brissett here and we've taken a quarterback, because I think most of us would probably want to take a swing on a quarterback in the draft at some point, like 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds, like somewhere in there. If we have that guy sitting behind Brissett, you don't think fans are going to be like, we want to see the young kid, instead of this veteran backup? Like, it's going to be the same thing either way. Like, why not, not tie a young quarterback to this regime? And I don't know. I'm yelling into the void at this point.
I disagree. No, but I disagree like strongly with that statement. Yeah.
All right. I'll hop off of it. Asa Spade says, are you concerned with the Fins corners? I am. I am not. I'm not concerned with them because I think the Dolphins are complete and utter garbage. I don't think they're a good team. I think they haven't beaten a winning team in so long. I think they're hot garbage, and we're going to absolutely drag our nuts all over them, and we're going to steamroll them. That's what's going to happen. Believe. Green bean.
Am I scared?
I'm not trying to scare them. I'm asking for beating the Fins.
Fuck yeah, the Finns. And let me just tell everybody the whole idea that Tyreek Hill's hurt and not it's bullshit. He's playing. He's going to be at a big fat hump. Don't believe the hype. We take care of him. We got to get to Tua. Center's really hurt. We're going to Quinton Williams and Jefferson and all the guys are going to blow up the middle. Tua's going to be under duress, and that's how we're going to win this game. If Zach can have 2 consecutive games where he's not a complete piece of shit. Sorry.
Hennessy says, so let's keep Zach for the next 20 years, Ryan. That's not what I'm asking. I'm literally saying if he plays well and the best pick we can get is a 5th-round pick, I would like to hold on to Zach for what we're already paying for him to be here, and I would rather roll the dice on him and maybe getting a comp pick after that or something if someone wanted to sign him. I don't know. I don't want to. He knows the offense already. Like, just fucking let it go.
Oh, no. What about
Yes.
Tim Boyle? Don't do it. And
No,
Billy
fuck
Turner.
Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle sucks. Tim Boyle shouldn't be in the NFL. Like, Zach Wilson, you could at least look like he belongs on an NFL field from a talent perspective. Like, you can't tell me that Zach Wilson is not the better backup quarterback to know the offense than Tim Boyle. I'm sorry. Don't give me the Tim Boyle argument. I'm going to freeze your ass.
Please.
Fucking freeze him.
Boom.
There you go.
Get me mad. Jose comes in and says, I love your guys' channel. Ryan, we need to let it go, man. Zach's like that toxic girlfriend, you need to let go. Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
This time,
I mean, I could make some like, I don't
But
want to
what
say
if she goes and dates another guy?
Yeah, but
what if she goes and they're happy? Then what? Who cares?
We got Snickle Fritz? Like, I'm sorry. I don't want to. I don't want
Let her
Zach
go.
I know.
She's making you miserable. 3 years she's made you miserable, promising that she's going to do better. And then she does better for a week. And then she goes right back. Let her go. Let her go date some other dude. Make him fucking miserable. And go find yourself the girl, Ryan. That's what we do.
Aaron Rodgers is my girl.
Well said.
That's who I want. I want Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, me too.
I want him to be our starter. Small.
Me too. You can share him.
Small court jester says, if we won out and win a Super Bowl, greatest story ever. If we win a Super Bowl, whether it's because of Zach Wilson or because of Aaron Rodgers getting back healthy and winning us a Super Bowl and coming off the Achilles, yes, absolutely. I don't know if you can name a better story than what would have happened with the chaos that has gone on this year for the New York Jets, with the entire roller coaster, with Hard Knocks and everything. Matt, is there any story right now that you could think of from a Super Bowl champ perspective that would be better than what the Jets, in theory, could do if all things broke the right way?
Tommy Cutlets and his agent up there doing the this.
You think that's the better story?
Oh, no. Clearly not. But no, it would be wild. That would be insane. It would be hilarious if that happened. Sign me up.
Green Bean, any other great story for a Super Bowl? Would this be the best one if the Jets won? I mean, obviously it would because it's our story. But in general, if we won a Super Bowl this year, doing everything that happened.
Dude, it's the greatest story of all time. It beats out the Bible. There's no competition. Never. The Odyssey by Homer. Nothing touches. If we make Super Bowl this year, are you kidding me? It'll live on as long as we are a species on this planet, dude. I'm telling you. It'll never be forgotten.
Love it. Love it. Sawyer comes in, says, Tommy DeVito, since starting, has been playing the same, if not better, than Zach recently. Zach needs to go and draft a quarterback in the draft. Let him restart. I do think coaching has a big thing to do with it. Like, I do think Daboll is significantly better offensive coach than anyone we've had in here as an offensive coach. And
oh yeah,
I don't know. The Giants are in a weird spot too. I mean, with DeVito playing well and Danny Dimes being on a $40 million contract, and the best thing that could happen to Daniel Jones is Tommy DeVito going off, because now the Giants are winning themselves out of contention for one of the top quarterbacks, or at least the top 2 quarterbacks. Matt, what do you think? You think I want to pivot this a little bit away from Zach. You think the Giants wind up going with a quarterback, or you think Cutlets is like enough of an exciting option behind Dimes that they're going to go some other route?
It's giving me some Linsanity vibes. This Tommy DeVito on here. I don't know what they're going to do because they are playing themselves in a weird spot. They're not going to pick high enough to get either Caleb Williams or Drake May. So it depends on if they like Jaden Daniels or Michael Penix, what there is there. I think Vito's shown that he could be a cheap, reliable backup, and who knows, maybe there's something more there.
Greenby, what do you think the Giants wind up doing?
I think the Giants are the last thing I think about every single moment of my life. That there are other subjects I think about before the New York Giants. The only thing I think is that's about it. I don't care about the Giants.
Ray Danger
Sorry,
says
Sawyer.
Ryan. Ray Danger says Ryan is a Zach truther. You know what?
Yeah, that's what's coming out. It's fucking clear.
Is a Zach truther really wanting him to be quarterback 3? Like, is that like that?
No.
That's a Zach truther?
No, but as Zach we explored this, I was told this week that Zach truthers collectively don't like the term truther to be attached to them. So
I'm more confused about it. I don't necessarily care if it's a truther or not, but I just want to know like what.
What we did.
Whoa. Can you guys hear me? Is my internet dead?
I'm back. I
see
was
Matt.
frozen for.
I was gonna say
All right,
everyone's
that's
frozen
what they
right
said.
now. Well, I see you, Matt.
So
I got Green.
For somebody to believe that Zach Wilson, while watching what we've watched for 3 years, am I completely frozen?
You're completely
Am I
frozen.
done?
I can hear you though. You're coming through clear. Now, not at all. All right.
Oh,
I'm going to take this as what?
I said I'm out.
Yeah, I can't hear you. We're going to go to Mike. Hey, Mike, what's up? He says, I noticed the mechanical changes that Zach seemed to make during the Texans game. It reminded me of how he was throwing during the preseason when he was attempting to mimic Aaron Rodgers' throwing motion. So I don't know what happened, but like, I should say I know what happened. Like in the preseason, you're not going to get your clock cleaned the same way because you're facing vanilla defenses. Training camp, you're not going to get hit because you're wearing the red jersey. Zach looked good in training camp, but it's because he doesn't have the pressure of knowing he's going to get hit. So I think there's a lot of frustration. Matt, you're not frozen. Shut up.
I was pretending to be frozen.
I know you were. I saw like the corner of your mouth perk up.
I had to breathe. I was losing my breath.
I had to breathe.
Good.
Greenby, you're crystal clear now. I don't know what happened, but you are like crisp. So let's get your take on this. Zach was making some mechanical changes. He's looking a little bit closer to how he looked in preseason.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I'm delayed.
I'll let you go.
The fuck is going on? Oh, that's the speaker on YouTube. Sorry. Yes, Zach was doing what? He looks very good. You were saying mechanics?
You look crystal clear. Yeah. What's your thoughts on Zach's throwing motion? Did you notice anything different from this game compared to where we were? Man, everything just sucks. I'm booting him. I'm kicking. You're both gone. You're out of here. I'm gonna sit here by myself. That's what's gonna happen. Everyone's freezing. Might as well be here. Look, Mike. I hope. Oh, here we go. We got Matt. Let's see. What's up, Matt?
I love this show. I really do.
I could be here with you guys. Like,
oh my god.
You know what? I think we should do the same thing next week too. You guys are both crystal clear now. Like everyone's.
What the fuck? What is happening?
Optimum. If Optimum were a person, I would kick them so hard in whatever's between their legs, real hard, really bad.
This is fucking crazy, man. That was the craziest thing ever.
Everyone's fucking frozen out. Matt, are you frozen or are you faking it again?
Am I frozen again? I look so good.
We only got 17 minutes left of the show. We can get through this.
Holy macaroni.
Green bean, mechanical changes to Zach's throwing motion. What do you think?
I think it's really, really good, Mike. I tell you what, man, when the keys he plays, dude, you know, when he can get out of his head, he's a good quarterback. I think he's clearly developed, he's clearly improved, but he's still clearly a moron and he's clearly terrified, but not this week. Let's see if he can do it 2 weeks in a row, and I'm in. He's got. We can fight about that. He just most of the time.
Ryan S. comes in and says, it would be the most Jets thing ever to trade Zach and have a Pennington/Favre-like scenario playing out. LOL, joking. Oh, could you imagine that happening?
Yeah,
and like Zach goes to Miami because Tua's like, you know, broken or something, and then he's thrown to Berrios, and now they're winning the division with fucking Zach at quarterback. I hate everyone. I hate everyone.
That would be it, dude. That's it. You found it. You guys found the exact pain because the Jets know how to make it the most painful. That's it. Throw areas and you know what I mean? All that shit. That would be the way. Mike White's backing him up. The whole thing.
It's how the Jets
Tyreek Hill, who was the Jet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Jet Engine says Ryan in 4K and Matt and Green Bean coming in over Telegraph Wire. What the fuck? LOL. Yeah, I don't know if it like whatever conferencing software I'm using right now is like really fucking brutal, and I don't know if it's my internet.
Hey,
like,
let me show Jet Engine real quick. Jet Engine, this is for you, buddy. Look, I think I'm wearing it.
I thought you were gonna unzip your pants.
I am. Wait, here we go. Can you? He can see it. He knows what it is. It's West Palm. Give me this shirt at the tailgate.
I got a patch.
Yeah, I got the patch somewhere around here too. I got a. It's
oh wow! Look at that.
See, like I don't know if that's. I apologize if this is a bad thing. I've been using it as a coaster at my desk, not like a liquid or anything on it. Like I use like a what's it called, a tumbler. So it doesn't like get frosty on the outside, but it's been sitting on my desk since you gave it to me. So, thank you, Jet Engine.
we fucking had it now,
right?
Oh no!
Oh, we're back.
You're back. You're good.
Your stream was cooked for a second there, Rye.
Ugh, my screen was cooked.
Yeah, that was everything, right? That was YouTube or Brian, one of the.
Yeah, everything's breaking. John says, I've rewatched the clip of Green Bean saying someone needs to spank Zach Wilson from the other night 100 times.
Where is it? Timestamp that. I want to see it. I don't remember anything. Guys, you got to realize.
Did we make it a short? I feel like we might have made it a short.
I don't know.
I should have, but I don't know if I did. It was definitely timestamped in the last one. I'll go back. Someone had to have time.
No, we don't have to. If it's embarrassed, I mean, I don't want. You remember, I'm like an executive director. I got to keep it.
If anyone who works with Green Bean wants to see him spanking our quarterback or talking about it, subscribe to the channel and then go to last week's episode. Jet Engine says, nice WPBFD representation. Of course. Thank you.
Yeah, there it is. Right, Engine. See that? Thank you, brother. We appreciate it sincerely.
Allison. What's up, Allison? Dropping a 20 spot says, is it eliminating time for NFL teams? It sucks.
She's back.
It sucks. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I hope Aaron Rodgers is to play Christmas Eve.
Oh, Allison, you warm my soul. I'm telling you, I love Allison.
I need a Rosetta Stone to figure out what you're saying. Talk to text Allison. I thought I had it right though.
Yeah, you did. You were looking real good till the A-Rod is to play at yours ever. Where
Can you help me decipher this? Did I read this wrong?
Eliminating time NFL teams, period. Or question mark? It sucks. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I hope A-Rod is to play at yours ever. Does that make sense? forever.
I love it.
Allison is the fucking absolute best.
I love Allison. She's always good for a good laugh. Occasionally we get like between like 2 or 3 super chats that she usually winds up sending in, we get like one full string of sentences.
Yeah.
The talks text great though.
Yeah.
Matt's crying over there.
She's got to
He's
look
sobbing.
at it
You can
before
barely
you
see
send
it
it out.
because he's so pixelated.
So good. Oh, I love it.
We're slap happy right now. That's what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Jen Engine
it's
says,
so
"Well
good.
said, Allison."
Yeah, well said. You said it all, man. You know, like Forrest Gump. Remember Forrest Gump when he's speaking and somebody pulls out the microphone, he just keeps talking like, "We can't hear you," and they put it back in. And he goes, "That's all I have to say about that." The guy goes, "You said it all, man." That's what it's like. You said it all, man.
Oh, it's just so perfect. It's so perfect.
It is. It's the best.
I look forward to Tuesdays with you guys like so much. Like between you two and the chat, it's funny. I filter by super chats just so I can like throw everything up there, but then I'll click back over to like the full chat, and just some of the conversations that are going on are absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah. I can say confidently, I read probably 50 to 60% of the entire during our stream. Like, it had, because I'm always scanning and everything. Dude, some of the arguments and shit they're having, and it's gold. It's gold sometimes. He gets in there and 100 people attack him. It's like some of the shit I've ever read.
Ray Danger comes in and says Allison types way better than Zach plays football. But see, I would keep Allison. Allison can stay. I'm an Allison truther.
Oh yeah. Allison is fucking rock mistake, dude. In a long time.
Fault. It's the speak to text, and it's the Bluetooth.
It's the phone.
Sticking together. It's their service.
She's using an Android instead of an iPhone. All the
right. Yeah. Right. See, God, it's brilliant. Oh, well done. Well done.
Goddamn national treasure, Allison. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where are we up? We got 10 minutes left. How are we supposed to? What are we gonna do for 10 more minutes?
I don't know. We're gonna talk about Allison.
We could talk about Allison. I see Jeremy in the chat. Jeremy says Green Bean can only read 50% of the chat. Send your kids to school, people.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
I have some beef with Jets Chaos. I was on his
throw it out there.
It was on his live stream on the cooking channel. You got to check it out. The Kerbat brothers, they reviewed, and he didn't know what burrata was. I said, "What's your?" He was talking about cheese. So now, to be fair, I was the whole thing, but as I tuned in, he was talking that he doesn't like fresh mozzarella, which was like that's a ridiculous take, but sure, all right, Jeremy, whatever. So then I said, "How do you feel about burrata?" And he goes, "I don't know what burrata is. Is he talking about a burrito?" I was like, "What planet? What planet am I?"
Let me shoot real straight with you. I've fucking never heard of burrata cheese. Never.
You don't? Oh,
really?
You
You don't know what burrata is? Dude, it's slamming. It's real good.
Nope.
It's
What
like
is it? What does it taste like? Fresh.
It's
filled with
I would say
spreads
it's
of
almost like
mozzarella?
a I don't want to say crumbly because that's a bad word. It's like almost like a mozzarella cheese kind of, but not as like viscous. Is that right? I don't know if that's the right word.
Well, listen to what it
It's
says.
like a mushy kind of cheese, kind of. It's delicious.
Says, it says here it's fresh mozzarella, right? And mozzarella for our fresh mozzarella filled with shreds of mozzarella soaked in cream.
Oh, it's the best.
What the fuck is that?
It's amazing,
right?
You put it on some crackers. Oh, it's delicious, dude. A little balsamic drizzle.
Oh,
What is this? When did this?
Dude,
When did this start?
oh, it's the best.
When did this come out?
I have no idea. Becca brought it home one day, and she stuff comes home from the store, and I think it's magical. She puts it on a plate, and I'm like, wow, let's do this again. It's really good.
I'm gonna see.
Taste
Dude, it was made in 1956. So it's been
that doesn't
around
mean
my
anything to
whole
me.
life.
It's here. It's great. It's delicious.
What is burrata cheese anyway? I got to learn about it. I never heard of it. Never.
Go to the store. Jeremy, if you have
Ooh.
not had burrata cheese, the fact that you didn't know what it is ridiculous.
Never even heard of it. Yeah.
Crazy.
You and green bean. You guys know how to eat. What were those fucking hot dogs we had the other day? That was like a big burrito hot dog.
Yeah, that was called an Italian hot dog. Sure.
An Italian hot dog. You guys know what that is, but you don't know what burrata cheese is?
Oh yeah.
You guys are nuts.
That's right.
Loco and 𝐒𝐫𝐫𝐲.
Well,
Brat is normally served.
you know what burrata means? You know what burrata means, Matt?
No, I don't speak.
I have no idea. It means really
Buttery.
good cheese that Jeremy and green bean don't know about.
It means buttery.
Oh, it's
Buttery
so good.
cheese.
What do you mean?
Buttery's great. I want to pull up Ray Danger's comment again because I realized I read it wrong because I read super chats like Zach Wilson plays football. Allison types the way Zach plays football.
It was great. It was.
Yeah.
John comes in with super chat, says Ryan quote tweeted me during the Falcons game. I felt so accomplished. I'll be honest, I don't know what I said. I'll have to go back and look. Hopefully it was all right. I didn't say something mean.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's tough. It's like, dude, we say so many things on so many days, right?
I'll go back and look at it.
It's hard to
John,
remember.
it's because you're awesome. Whatever I said is because you're great. Hopefully it was good. Lucky Leo comes in and says, is it time to such forever Jets with a Allison, I need help.
God,
What does this mean?
you are not smart enough to decipher your hieroglyphics.
I can't understand it. Lucky Leo is writing in fucking ancient Greek or whatever Leonidas
time
is
to
from.
suck forever.
Spartan.
Jet A-Rod forever. Route 77 higher. I'm just saying. Lucky Leo's just saying. Is it time to just suck forever? Jets with A-Rod forever. Route 77 higher at just saying. This is why we've a cliff here, everybody.
Matt Ryder says
It is
Lucky
crazy.
Leo is Allison's burner.
Oh,
That's good.
John says, whoops, I meant Matt. Quote tweeted me.
Yeah.
Rats.
John,
So-
I don't know if it was good or bad. So either you're welcome or I apologize.
Right.
I felt so
Either
good
one.
about myself.
Whatever is most applicable is how I feel going towards you.
Yep. That's so good.
Jose says, Margarita Pizza General has burrata on it. Oh, I didn't know that. I worked in a pizzeria. I didn't realize burrata cheese was on a margarita
What?
pie.
No way, dude.
You don't think I worked in a pizzeria?
No. For a second. I do, on the other hand, doubt that margarita pizza generally has burrata on it. Let me see.
It's weird. I've noticed people call like a regular kind of cheese pie a margarita pie sometimes, or maybe it's just like a different.
Yeah, I
type of-
see that.
It like kind of confuses me because a margarita pie, if I remember correctly, has like a bunch of chopped up basil on it, and I think it's 2 different types of cheeses. I don't know what type of sauce. It's like a margarita sauce, I think.
Margarita pie it's not totally covered in cheese. It has it's
Sauce
bolted-
pockets, kind of.
Well, yeah. Well, they're actually like cheese pockets. They're slices of fresh mozzarella that's
Okay.
put on it, and then basil leaves, like full leaves, a lot of the time, and that's it. You know what I mean? Sauce, a few spots of cheese. Every slice should definitely have cheese on it, and it's usually margarita pie should be thin and well done. Thin, like Domino's cracker crust thin, but
Oh, yeah,
like
brick oven pizza.
Brooklyn thin. Like thin.
Yeah,
right.
I worked at a pizza place that was brick oven exclusively. Lucky Leo says, haha. Glad to have you back. Jet Chaos says, Napolitana pizza. I'm going to pronounce that wrong again. Has fresh
Napolitano.
Tano. Got the O.
Neapolitan.
Who knows?
Neapolitan. All right.
All right, we got to do the contest.
Let's do the contest. Matt, can you go to last week's stream?
How
Let's
many
get
you want?
Let's go 5. Let's get 5 names from the list.
Okay. Green Bean, let me know when you're ready.
I stand at the ready, sir.
Okay, we got Andrew 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐽𝐫, 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐽𝐾𝐴.
Okay, got it. 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐽𝐫.
We got. Here, let's scroll around. Come up. Alex Arroyo,
Arroyo.
ARROYO.
Okay.
𝐒𝐮7317. Apparently, Green Bean, you told him penis. I don't remember that.
Wait,
from
what
the
happened?
What?
Wait, what? What was that?
𝐿𝐿77's comment says, time stamping at 40:20 when Green Bean said I had. What was the
Oh, he
context?
definitely said it. He 100% said it because I said clip it. I said timestamp
Wait,
it.
what did I say? I said he has no
dude,
penis?
I gotta go back. I forgot about that. That's what we gotta.
penis, wait,
Dude, when people timestamp these shows, it's so friggin' funny. It's so good.
What is
Dom
this?
C just
Let's-
put in Jimmy Buffs is to Italian hot dogs what Allison is to language arts.
I disagree. She's
Wait,
next
can you
opposite, Mr. C.
Oh, my eyes.
All right, what else we got?
Sorry, that's you again. We needed 2 more. Nuz with the no penis was good. James Fall. FALZ.
False. Okay. That was Nuz, not Buzz. 7317. Okay.
And then we'll do one more. We got Pure Imagination 757.
Got it.
All right. So, Green Bean, how many contestants we got total now?
61.
61. All right. Whoop. What did I do? Clicking on stuff. 6, 1. All right. Random number.
Here it
Can
comes.
we get a chance to spin the wheel? Number 11. Who we got?
Number 11. Let's see. We got J-Boy.
Ooh,
J-Boy.
J-Boy. Here we
J-Boy
go.
wins.
Spinny wheel.
Go Pillow. I want to see Jersey. Tonight's the Jersey night, everybody.
Feel it in my.
We keep getting
Jersey.
close to the uh-oh.
Oh.
Of course it's a pillow. It's always a fucking pillow. I feel like it's been a pillow like the last few times. Do I gotta remove the pillow? We could swap something else in there if we wanted to.
Oh, you got to swap the mug out then.
Swap the mug out?
Gotta
You
keep
think the
the
mug's
pillow.
better? What's better, the mug or the pillow?
Well, I don't know. What does the pillow look like? Where is it?
It looks like the monkey shirt, but in the form of a square pillow.
I like it.
What is the material?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't have the pillow. I should get one of our pillows to put on my couch. That seems like it would make a lot of sense.
I got to get one of these pillows. What do we sell them for, Ryan?
I have no idea. I think the mug is $15. I think the pillow actually costs more for us to do as a giveaway than a shirt, and I'm not really sure why. My assumption is that we have to tear up a bunch of shirts to stuff it inside the pillow, and that's why it's a little bit more expensive.
It's
Dude,
$30.
It's a $30 pillow, everybody. I'm going to stop rooting for that shit.
And that's
seriously.
not funny. We're taking a loss on those things.
That's a fucking
That's-
serious pillow, man. Let me see
We
what
gotta
is
find
there
something
about
else
this.
to give away. Swap the pillow
Vibrantly
slice out for something
printed.
else.
Oh, dude, listen to this, everybody. J-Boy gets a vibrantly printed, ultra soft, 100% brushed face polyester cover and polyester pillow insert, 12.5 by 11.5 inches, 12.5 by. And all the product components are sourced and constructed right here in the United States of America. And yeah, there you go. And you can clean it and air dry. Clean it and air dry. What do you think of that?
See?
It's quite the pillow.
Yeah. ChatGPT wrote that description, just so you know.
Did they really?
They did, yeah. I was like, hey, this description looks like garbage. It was just a generic description that they gave us. I was like, make it look nice. And so popped out a little thing. So if you guys want to check out all the descriptions on our website with all our products and stuff, some of it looks pretty good.
Just know that ChatGPT wrote them. They added the word vibrantly or vibrant, I bet.
I don't use the word vibrantly. When's the last time I've ever used the word vibrantly?
I've rarely used it. Right. It comes out of my face.
I really like logo hoodie. I'm on the website now. I might buy that.
The logo hoodie's nice. It's really nice.
It's a nice
Oh,
material.
hell yeah. Look at that.
I'm a big fan of that one.
Clearly, we're just perusing our own site for the first time.
Stud City goes, do Talkin Jets coasters. We actually have
Oh, yeah.
a subscriber who sent us. Hold on, where's this? Whoop, whoop. Which way is this one?
They're so cool.
Just Jets. Jets Talk 24/7.
And
Green Bean Jets fan. And Talkin Jets.
We
I
should
got
do
those sitting on my coffee table behind me. What was that?
We should do like a coaster or a mug or a cup.
I'll see if we can. I don't know. So we're kind of at the, unless we want to store all the material and like all the items, we're kind of held back by the drop shipper that we use. So whatever products they offer us is kind of where we're sort of pigeonholed into. I guess we could do other stuff.
How about a Talkin Jets vape?
Talkin Jets vape? That
For
seems
green.
like, or maybe like a sleeve for a vape. Do they make those? Is that a thing? Like a
Talkin
little
Jets Zin.
what was it?
Talkin Jets Zin pack.
You could do like
Yeah.
we could do like a logo Zippo or something like that.
Talking Jets.
Yeah. Now we're
They say Jimmy says get a blanket. We can definitely do blankets. I tried to do a towel. I had the gaze at my Jim Bob Cooter towel and they wouldn't let me sell it. They're like, you can't do that. I was like, okay, see how it is.
You know what I had? Remember, I had on my Green Bean store, which is still out there, but I had underwear, women's underwear. And I tried so hard. We use different like graphic sites, Canva, and a couple to try to get my beard like properly placed. It wouldn't
If
work.
I can figure it
we
out,
couldn't
I'll put
get
it
it. It
on
was
there.
always like off.
I'm going to get
You'll
off this
do it?
stream and we're going to figure out a way to get some green bean panties on the store. We're going to figure out a way to do it. We're going to have it. It's going to be the Christmas sale.
It was
of
a
the-
couple years ago.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm really bad at this. Holiday. Use promo code HOLIDAY, 30% off anything in the store. Boom.
it may or may not make
Yeah.
no promises.
Good.
Yeah.
Do it. There's such good shit in here, man. Breece just ending the tackle surge. Wilson 24. Breece mode. It's fucking great. This is good shit in here, everybody.
Situation.
Right?
I'm with Daniel Murphy. I don't know if we saw his comment. The former Met Daniel Murphy was talking about the quarter zips.
Oh, dude, I love quarter zips. I'm a big quarter zip guy. The drop
quarter
shipper doesn't
zip.
have those. So like what sucks is like the like I know a ton of vendors from working at the golf course and like I could get some really sweet fucking gear, but it's like I have to order like 24 pieces at a time and they're not cheap. So it's like not worth it for us to try and do that.
Why do we like quarter zips? Talk to me. What
Oh,
is
dude,
this?
they're so nice. It's the perfect like fall layer. Like you don't have to wear a hoodie where you're getting your hair like jacked up. You can kind of unzip it a little bit, get your whole head through.
It's like a classier sweatshirt.
It is.
That's
The
interesting.
zipper
I don't
adds,
know about
the
these.
zipper is like buttons, basically. Buttons make things
okay.
classy.
Yeah, we should do that. I don't know these because my wife didn't show me this yet. She never showed me I don't know anything. My wife
You don't know
didn't
what
show me that.
I don't think
I
I
don't
have
know
a quarter
anything.
zipper. It's just a little zipper. Like imagine buttons, but it's a zipper.
Yeah, from chest up.
Yeah, it's like nipples. Like draw a line between your nipples. Just go straight up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at
Oh,
quarter zip.
Funny side conversation that has nothing to do with quarter zips, nothing to do with anything we've been talking about at all. Do you guys play disc golf at all? Like, have you guys ever done that?
I have, but I don't. You know what I mean?
So it's so fun. And I'm just like, as I'm touching my nipples, I realized that when I learned how to play, the guy that taught me was at the disc golf park. He's like, this is what you have to think in your head. Nipples, smack a midget. Just like go across, and that's how you throw a disc golf frisbee. And
oh, really?
Because I was touching my nipples, that's sorry. I'm slap happy right now. I got to get off the air.
Yeah.
This is not good.
Talkin Jets toothpaste.
Talkin Jets toothpaste. Would you like us in your mouth? That'll be the tagline.
That's
Boom.
it.
I'm the OnlyFans. 10% off. OnlyFans.
69% off. It's perfect.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, Jesus, we got to get the hell out of here.
The most.
Okay. Green Bean, any last words for our panel?
Wait, Allison's back.
Wait. Hold on. Yes.
I
said it
Okay.
is. I said, is it eliminated NFL teams? Is it that time? If it is, sucks. NFL went so fast. I hope A-Rod can play next year.
New Year's
I
Eve.
like your guys' show. I got it.
Close enough.
That's definitely what it is. The Eve threw me off. New Year's Eve. I hope he can play New Year's Eve.
The Jets don't have a game. Eve.
I got it.
That's
Play New Year's Eve.
right. I think.
Wow.
I said Allison means Christmas Eve.
Well, I hope he can play
what did
Christmas
we
Eve, but I think New Year's Eve's a game too, isn't it?
No.
Wait,
or is it the first?
They got.
It's all right. I knew what it said. New Year's Eve. She said New Year's Eve. She meant Christmas Eve. It's all right.
Yeah, we play on the 28th because we're Thursday, but there are games on New Year's Eve then. Right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
See? It's great. All right. We're like 10 minutes beyond Ryan.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
Green
I
Bean,
gotta
any
go to
last
bed,
words for
dude.
our panel?
Come hang for the Thursday thick of it, man. We're having a good time in there. We're going to talk about Zach Wilson.
Matt, any last words for our panel?
I don't know how I'm going to recover from this episode. That was really a lot to take from
It was a lot.
the freezes,
Ugh.
This was really a lot of fun. Tuesday from 8 to 10 hours of my week every single time. So thank you guys for allowing that to happen.
We enjoy you guys wasting. We are glad you guys are wasting your time with us, wasting our time together, because it's not wasting time when we're together. Boys and girls, I love you. This is Jets Talk signing off. JETS.
Just go somewhere else. I can't take this nonsense anymore. How are you going to blame the defense?
I got the pouch. Screw Green Bean. Damn it.
But once you get to the sausage, I feel like we're doing something.
Go Jets.
He scores!
Ow, my head. No, come on.
What would you give up to see a Jets Super Bowl?
All of my friends and family. Hit those milk thumbs, boys and girls.
Freeze run.
Hold on to your underwear, ladies, and stand by, bitches. It's now time for Talkin' Jets with your hosts, Matt, Ryan, and Green Bean.